I've now opened up the project notebook. We're going to go through the exercises here in this video. So number one, use the choices function from the random module to roll 30 six-sided die. Okay, so number one, we need to import random to have access to it. Now, if you don't know what this function does, well, you just access it. Then you press Shift Tab Tab, and you can read about it here. It says return a k-sized list of population elements chosen with replacement. Okay, so the population will just be a list that you give it, like you want to choose from this list. In this case, it'll just be the numbers 1 through 6 because we're treating it as a dice roll. And then k over here, this is what we want. That's not how many dice rolls we're going to do. Okay, so we can just create this list by hand. You could also use a range object. And by default, if I just call it like this, k is 1, so it's just going to do 1 of this. Now we can set, we want 30 dice rolls, and it'll do this. It is chosen with replacement, so therefore it will choose one and then still allow it to choose the next one or the same one in the next roll. Okay, so what you can do here is do range 1, 7. And this will do the same thing. So this is integers 1 through 6. All right, number two, use a dictionary. Number two, use a dictionary-like type in the collections module to count the rolls of each die from the exercise above. Okay, so we need these rolls. So I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to assign it to a variable. Now, let's actually do this up here. So you might not be familiar with this. We did cover it during the notes section, but there is one object called the counter, which is a dictionary type object. And what you do is you pass it in just a list of values. Here's the rolls, and it will just count them. It'll put these values as the keys and their number as the value in that dictionary. Okay, so here we have 4 mapped to 6, 2 mapped to 5, and so on. All right, so that is how you do that. You may not remember in the collections module. So what you should do is have the documentation open where you have the standard library. You can just go down to the collections module. Here are all of the things in the collections module. So hopefully the name counter helps out with that. We did talk about the default dict over there. But here's counter, so you can read about it. And it shows just a couple of examples. All right, so let's move on to number 3. Use the string module to print out all the uppercase letters. Okay, there's an actual module called string, and this is a good one. We can go back, and here's the string module. So you click over here, and as you can see here, well, they actually have a variable called ASCII uppercase, and this just returns all of the uppercase letters. So that's what I was looking for. It does help to look at the documentation. There are more things in here, but that's the one thing I wanted to look for in this particular exercise. So with the import string, I'm going to do string dot and press tab. You can see all the other things it does, but we just want the ASCII uppercase. This is not a function. This is just, or not a, yeah, it's not a function. It's just a variable name. And that's how you can get all of the letters without having to type them in. So that's pretty cool. All right, number 4, import the single name get CWD from the OS module and execute the function. What does it do? All right, so we use a from statement. So from OS, import get CWD. You can actually tab complete here, and it'll give you a list of all the options. So we've imported this function. Now what we can do is just press Shift Tab Tab, and it'll tell us what happens. Return a Unicode string representing the current working directory. So it tells you the location in your file system where you're currently at. Get current working directory. All right, number 5, import the math, statistics, fractions, and time modules in a single line. This is almost, you can copy and paste from here. Just change this import like this, get rid of and that's how you can import them in one line. You just separate them by commas. Now I have access to each one of these. Use the fractions module to add 11/37 and 2/9 together. So we've done this. So fractions, we have to do dot fraction. to create an instance over here. So we can say 11/37, and then we can do the other one. So from the fractions module, we're using this fraction class, and 2/9, and we get this one 173/333. You can actually print it out, and it'll just make it into a little fraction. But that's fine. We just leave it like this. All right, number 7. Write a function that uses the string, random, and time modules to print out 10 random lowercase letters, pausing 1 second between letters. Keep all letters on the same line. So we're going to use a lot of what we've done thus far. So I'm going to print out one at a time. So for 10 of them, so I'm going to create a loop here. So for I in range 10, and actually before that, we could do this a different way. We could say random dot choices. So we've used this before, and we want to get 10 random letters, lowercase letters. So we can use the string module. So we can use the ASCII lowercase letters like this. And this will just choose one at a time, but we can choose 10. And do k equals 10. I have to use the keyword over here. Oh, not ASCII letters. We need ASCII lowercase, not all of them. Okay, so here are our 10 lowercase letters. We just want to print them out one at a time. So we can just iterate through here. So watch this. So we can say for car in here. So this is my iterable, just a list of 10 random letters. I'm going to print out them one at a time. I want them on the same line. That's what it says. So the end result equals, we'll just put a space between them. And then we need to use the time function to sleep. So let's say time dot sleep. We want it to sleep for 1 second, and then we'll just print it out. So you can sort of do this to write a cryptic message to your friends. There we go. Okay, so just one at a time. Like that, sleeping for 1 second. So that's pretty cool, using 3 different modules in the standard library. All right, so that does it for the exercises section.